The mindset change that you need is this. Small changes can lead to big results. Okay? Let's take a couple of minutes. Let's take a couple of minutes here. Okay? Please understand this. Everything in the universe is built on this one principle. Everything. Evolution. Everything is built on this. Okay? The concept of accumulation and compounding. If you understand finance better, you know how the stock market works. Okay? It's all about compounding. And for compounding, you don't need big, intense changes done infrequently. You want to make small changes consistently over a period of time. Okay? Now let me ask you this question. Any of you here who's gained weight, say about, I didn't want to gain weight, but I gained about 5 to 10 kilos, something like that? Yeah. So how did you gain this weight? Think about it. Did you just overnight, just next day you woke up and like you're 5 kilos heavier? No. It happened how? Slowly, gradually, even without your own knowledge, right? Because if you added 10 grams of weight per day, in a year you'll add 3.5 kilos. In 3 years you'll add 10 kilos. You know what 10 grams is? You don't know. I don't know. It's so small. You don't even care about it. But small things can add up. And we understand this in so many other parts of life. Right? We talk about little drops form an ocean, you know, all these amazing lines. But in reality, the positives, negatives, everything follow the same principle. Simple, tiny changes, when done over a period of time, have significant results. Again, negative or positive. Yeah? So, what I want you to think about today is, can you make small changes in your life? Because go back to the first slide. What do you really want? You want to be fitter. You want to be healthier. Right? You want to look, feel, function better. That's what you want. Okay? You don't want crazy weight loss. You don't want to, walk around with a six-pack and giant, bulging biceps every time. That's not what you want. What you want is to be a better version of yourself. For that, are you willing to make small changes? 3 people said yes. 8 people said yes. Much better, right? So, all we have to do is simple things. If we can do these simple things consistently, we'll get there. And guess what? Every person you admire today, every fit person you're thinking, did exactly that. Anyone who tried to just push the accelerator for 1 year or 2 years burns out. We're not built for that. Okay? So what are these small changes that we have to make? Okay? There are hundreds of them. You know that. Okay? But what I'm going to do is I want to talk about 6 to 7 simple small changes that you can make from right now, from your next meal, from your next second. Okay? So let's talk about that. Okay? We're going to talk about action, right? What are the actions that you can do? Small action. Like I said, you can walk 10 steps. You can walk for 10 minutes, right? It's an action. But how does this action, we're always thinking, right, 10 minutes of walking, what is this really going to do? Or let's say you're eating a brownie and there's one last piece, like, why leave that? You may as well pop it in, right? Or you're walking into the kitchen and like, someone else's brownie is there. Okay, sure, I'll eat that too. Right? So, but these actions, how do they really add up? Here's what you want to remember. Action plus accumulation will result in amplification. Okay? You want to remember this very clearly. Action, when it accumulates, amplifies things. This is true with everything that you do. Let me give you a small example with muscles, all right, just to help you understand. Now, let's say you have, 10 kilos of muscles in your body. You do some kind of strength training and you make it 11 kilos of muscle. Not much, right? Just 1 kilo more. But now, this 11 kilos of muscle can lift a little more weight than 10 kilos could. As a result, you will get to 12 kilos faster than you got to 11 kilos. Now, at 12 kilos, you're even stronger than when you were at 10 kilos. Now, you can do more work, and that will help you build more muscle, right? You see what I mean? So, accumulation is how things add up. Amplification is how things compound, right? And that's why, when you talk about the stock market, in 1 year, you're not going to see any difference. 2 years, you're not seeing any difference. But after a certain point, every 7 years, your money is just doubling, right? The snowball effect. You start with a tiny snowball, you're not accumulating too much snow. But as the snowball gets bigger and bigger, you accumulate more and more, right? So what you need to think about is, what is the action? How can I make it accumulate? The amplification will take care of itself. So if you can understand these small actions and you can do them consistently, I guarantee you, your progress is inevitable. You can't help it. Even if you don't want to progress, there's no chance. Okay? So let's talk about a few. The first action. 1 cup of vegetables per day. What is 1 cup? It's 1 tiny cup of vegetables, 240 ml. Any vegetable, raw, cooked, completely your call. Okay? Now you're thinking, 1 cup of vegetable, what is it going to do? You know what it's going to do? It is going to accumulate to 40 to 50 kilos of vegetables per year. Okay? So if you can increase your vegetable consumption by 1 cup, you end up eating 40 to 50 kilos. And what does that do? What is the amplification? More fiber, better gut health, low blood sugar. Wait, that's Dr. Pal's section, right? He's going to be talking a lot about it right after this. But when you're thinking about improving your gut health, you start by eating that 1 cup of extra vegetables per day. That's it. That's your one action. Okay? You don't have to just change everything about your nutrition. That's your one action. Now let's talk about another example. Another action. 20 minutes early to bed. We're all talking about sleeping more, right? We're thinking, okay, I should sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. Where am I now? About 4 to 5 hours. Going from 4 to 7 is crazy because it's hard. 2 things. One is you probably don't have that time to suddenly say, I'm going to sleep. Or your body is not ready to sleep for 7 hours now. You've trained it to sleep for 4 hours. It's going to be disturbing. It's going to be hard. You're going to be tossing and turning in bed. But how about 20 minutes? How about you go to bed 20 minutes early? Okay? Without your phone, of course. Yeah. Why? What does that do? What is 20 minutes going to do? It will accumulate consistently to 120 hours of extra sleep in a year. Right? Nothing magical here, it's just math. You do it every day for a year, but all you have to do is a small action. And how does this amplify? You get more energy, more recovery, more progress, right? Very generically. But let me tell you this about sleep, guys. Sleep is the thing that you want to work. Okay? How many of you here sleep under 6 hours? Excellent. How many of you sleep more than 7 hours? Awesome. The second batch experiences the world very differently than the first batch, I'll tell you that. Okay? Let me give you an example. I read about this in my book also, right? I like this example a lot. Let's say you're driving in the morning one day, okay? You've slept really well, 7.5 hours. You wake up, you feel good, right? You were nice to someone at home, right? Your partner, your kids, you hug them, you kiss them. You had a nice breakfast, right? You felt energetic, and you went and did a workout, and you're happy with yourself that you did a workout. You get into the car, and you're driving, right? You're going to work or whatever. And then this random guy just cuts you off. Okay? What do you do? Like, you know what? It's okay. Maybe he's going through something. Maybe he's in a rush. It's okay, let him go. Another day, you slept 4 hours. You wake up in the morning, you're already like, don't even, not today, okay? Invariably, you get into a fight with someone at home, okay, for something silly. Food is not great. You end up eating something sugary, oily, whatever. You don't feel good. You don't exercise because of that. And you're driving to work. The same guy cuts you off. What's going to happen at that point? You're out of the car. You're going to give him a slap, right? That's how much sleep can affect you. The way I see it, right? Think about it as a bowl of milk, okay? Sleep is like a green or a red dye. One drop is basically going to color your entire day. Sleep has such a big effect. The days you sleep well, you are more active, you are more motivated, you have energy, right? So you can go to the gym, you can work hard, you can be productive, you can do all these things. On a day when you haven't slept well, you are physically and mentally sluggish. You're not motivated to go to the gym. Even if you go, you don't want to push too hard. If you push too hard, you'll hurt yourself, right? And your brain is not ready to make mindful choices. Trust me when I tell you this. If I offered you a cookie on a day when you haven't slept well, you will definitely go for it compared to a day when you have slept well, right? Because your brain is looking for quick energy, right? So how do you change everything in your life if you're someone who's not sleeping well? By sleeping well. And where does that start? 20 minutes. 20 minutes.